Yeah, I need to get better at this. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Solving Chaotix Case Files, where we are taking the Sonic the Hedgehog podcast known as the Chaotix Case Files, and we are breaking it down with recaps and giving our theories on who we think the suspect is to this case. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. Make sure to comment who you think the suspect is, and let's dive into it. Okay, so today we're going to be breaking down episodes 4, 5, and 6 of the Chaotix Case Files. If you want to check out my videos on part 1, part 2, and part 3, feel free to check it out over here in this corner. I'm really proud of it. You should totally check it out. So, basically what happens is after the team has interacted with this individual who probably is Mimic that has been stealing these astroscopic lenses, the party goes to Gun headquarters in an attempt to find more information. Upon doing so, involving shenanigans that included failed sneak attempts and tubas, believe it or not, the party is interrogated by the head of Gun. I thought this was pretty cool to see the head of Gun, who we haven't seen in quite a while, and I thought that was pretty interesting. And as they begin to be interrogated, going back and forward on who said what, and who's in charge of who, and what inference is going on with what investigation, there's a plot twist. We discover Professor Tori was working with Gun. If you don't know, Professor Tori initially came to the Chaotix about helping find these astroscopic lenses. And so she appears to feel bad for working with them, but believes this is some type of means to an end in order to keep these astroscopic lenses safe. And so the Chaotix, they feel very hurt by this. However, she gives them a file. This file is labeled Red Spectre. From there, the Chaotix leave the Gun facility and they attempt to fly away on their helicopter. And they crash because the helicopter is old and broken.
What happened to the engine?
That's what I've been trying to say!
Something's wrong! It's not responding! It's not responding!
This is where we get into episode 5. Episode 5 picks up with our team finding our friends Cream and Cheese and their mother Vanilla. Shout out to this podcast showing Vector's crush on Vanilla, which was pretty great. And as they begin to rest there, they see a robot named Gemeral who is with them. Not to be confused with Emerald, it's Gemeral. Yeah, I know, confusing, don't worry about it. Game called Sonic Fighters. Sonic X is kind of involved, but not really, just don't worry about it. Basically, they go to Gemeral and they ask him to help them find some information on what they can figure out about Red Spectre, and he's able to point them in the right direction to an Eggman base. And so, they head that way. This is where we kick off episode 6 of the Chaotix Case Files podcast. Upon entering the base, fun shenanigans ensue, which includes a mustache pun. You should check it out, it's pretty great. A battle with a large robot, and your classic Sonic combo where Vector uses Charmy like a Sonic and Tails combo. It was pretty great. And this is where a friend of ours comes into play. Good old Sage. For those of you who don't know, Sage is the AI daughter of Dr. Eggman, who we see in Sonic Frontiers. And so upon interacting with Sage, at first they are a bit hostile, but they begin to calm down and have this interaction where they explain that they're just finding answers. And they tell her about the Red Spectre. Upon talking to Sage about Red Spectre, Sage is only able to come up with one name: Phantom. And that's where the episode ended. Alright, so if it wasn't obvious already, this probably isn't our friend Dr. Starline. Shout out to Black Rose 7 for helping me to point out this is probably our friend Infinite. Just to give a brief recap, Infinite was a jackal mercenary who had attempted to raid Eggman's base and ended up interacting with a Phantom Ruby, giving him super crazy powers and helping him to almost help Eggman take over the entire world in the game Sonic Forces, but you're able to stop him. Infinite has all sorts of powerful abilities, including the ability to create fake environments and illusions, and even create copies of past villains. And so, as a result, we don't know what has happened to him at the end of Sonic Forces. Maybe he is in the Phantom Ruby, maybe he just disappeared, but his death was left ambiguous, so it is quite possible he is still alive, and he's probably our suspect. I will say, from the perspective of just Sega in general, it would make sense if it was Infinite and they timed it with him potentially even being a character in Sonic Crossworlds. They did this with Tangle and Whisper, where they are now playable characters, so it would be pretty cool to see that correlate with one another. Alright, so we still have a bunch of different questions that we need to ask ourselves. Is Mimic still involved? We do know that he is a shape changer and was brought up by Tangle and Whisper. However, it could be possible that this is just Infinite using his abilities to make images that seem like they are real. Simultaneously, why is Rouge involved? It could be that Rouge is working for Gun. Again, this is something that she has done in the past in multiple games and even in the Sonic X TV show. And why is Infinite collecting the astroscopic lenses? So, I believe that Mimic is attempting to use these lenses to amplify his power in order to take over the world. Who knows? Maybe he will even try to summon Dark Gaia like we have been theorizing, because this is involved in the civilization that Dark Gaia was a part of. Either way, these episodes have been great. A new episode is going to be coming out this coming Tuesday. I'm hoping to see what will happen, and but that's what I think. I would love to know what you think. Please let me know your theories in the comments down below. I've been really enjoying listening to this mystery podcast, and having it be Sonic the Hedgehog has just been the greatest thing ever. So please let me know what you guys think. If you enjoy this video, please feel free to leave a like, and if you like me as a YouTuber, you should totally subscribe so that we can keep up to date on all of these awesome videos that we are making. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I look forward to seeing you guys real soon. Remember, no job too big, no gig too small.